So this is the I Am Collective call. This is the last Tuesday in August. What? How did August fly by like that? Is time speeding up for everyone else? Because I know it feels like it's like super speed right now. I mean, it's almost my birthday. Like, how? What? So while we're giving a couple minutes for others to join the call as we normally do, I am going to share a virtual day spa frequency. It's a morphic field. And here's Shannon. And then we'll just jump right in right after that. It's only a couple minutes long. Share, hold on. Share screen, here we go. All right, so this is, no thanks. Virtual day spa, morphic field. It is 3 minutes long, and then we'll jump into the call. So enjoy your virtual your virtual spa day frequency. That's it.
Love it.
So it's brief. You can put it on loop. Really set intentions with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that already made a difference for me. Like I feel like my energy is calmer, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and jump right in, and then if people have other stuff to share around this or before any like actual work happens, you're more than welcome to. I'm super excited for what you shared, Christy, about the goddess. Forget the full phrase of it, but like that totally feels like in alignment. I'm so blessed and grateful that you're here today. So one of the messages, so Eric and I were listening to a recording yesterday of Todd Deviney. If you're not familiar with him, he basically channels source directly, and he's known for entity or lower vibrational energy removal. I've referenced him before, where he gives the opportunity to be transmuted to light or to the best possible space. And if not, if they're resistant, he might ask a second time and then he just removes them. And he works very much with Aurora, and she's the one who basically is like, can you look inside? Can you see any speck of light within? So she tries, before she removes them, she tries to guide them a little bit more towards seeing the light within. And so people were just asking him questions. And one of the things he talked about was the physical vessel. And this has come to us before, especially like in missions with Sandy and stuff, where the root chakra is where is like a weak spot on the human vessel. The base of the spine, the root chakra is a weak spot. And so very often lower vibrational energy, I will refer to it that way, looks to get access through that. So I've long standing had issues with my lower back, but especially now that I am working as much as I'm working, and it's really not that much, but it's, a good 24 hours a week that I am standing. I have a stool, and, so I use that some, but and I know that it's whatever this is, it's coming up to be healed and be addressed. And it's not all from this lifetime. Like there's some of this stuff is not new. And I've been experiencing like neuropathy in my left hand, a lot of joint pain. I've been experiencing like tennis elbow and stuff in my wrist. So like my left hand, my whole left arm, lots of pain there. I've been experiencing stuff with my feet. So ankles, and the bottom of my feet, in particular, my left foot. So the left side of my body, but not so much the like midsection and lower back, but the right side, lower back, like right behind the organs in here, from mid back down to like my hips. I do know that how I stand when I am standing at work is not supportive of my body. It's not ergonomic. And so I'm bringing my awareness to that. And then the latest thing that's shown up, and it's happened before, but it's been a long time since it's happened. And I often will get like around my brow, on the temple, over my right eye. And my eye gets twitchy. And that has started to happen. And so I'm like, okay, is it just that I'm under these like grocery store lights and I'm just too sensitive to that? Like the lighting is impacting me. Is it something with my vision? And it's verging on migraine. Like sometimes it's like I have to really clear it so that it doesn't get to migraine. And And I also know, or what one of the messages that came in before was like, that's how you can tell if people have an attachment or have been infiltrated, is their eyes are different. And I was looking in the mirror the other day and it was like, this eye was much bigger than this eye. It's not so much now.
Julie, I'm sorry for interrupting, but have you tried your healing machine? The healing
My
has a lot of settings for that. Your healing. Have you tried it?
I've used it like twice, and that is a good suggestion. Like yes. Oh, you're muted.
It has joint pain for bones, individual organs, a general pain. Try it. Yeah,
Thank you
it's
for
good.
reminding me about that. I will. That came up again for me recently as well, so thank you for that reminder. So this is just what I'm throwing out there, and then today Steve Nobel posted something about he went for a run this morning or whatever, and he's like, we have to remember we're still in this physical vessel, as much as we're not in this physical vessel, we're in this physical vessel. So and then the only last thing that I would say that I've been doing differently is I have been wearing my Andara pretty consistently. I wear it almost every day. And I'm wondering if, like the Moldavite, which has been too strong for me, like maybe the frequency of this is too much for me to wear on a daily basis. So that's what I got. I don't know if anybody else has anything that they're getting on this. If anybody else, because I know, like, as we're operating as the I Am Collective, right, that if I'm experiencing stuff in my lower back, and that's an area that we need to strengthen or to be strong so that we are impenetrable and solid, that there might be others that are experiencing this as frequencies are ramping up and everything is ramping up. So, okay, go.
Well, I did get for you, as you were speaking, that balance kept going through my mind. Like, you must be out of balance in one or more areas of your life. So really try and reconnect, ground with the earth again, lay in the grass, I feel that you need to earth a little more. That maybe restorative yoga might be really good for you. Really healing for your root chakra and your body just in general. And it will also give you balance. That's kind of what was coming up for me as suggestions for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I agree with that. And I also feel like alignment of the spine, like your spine's not aligned. So there might be it almost feels like you're hit more so than anything. So when you were talking about how you were standing at work, it feels like one hit might be a little bit higher than the other, and that's not misaligning the spine. That might be something that you might want to, I don't know if you have a chiropractor or somebody that can actually elongate the spine and help you with that, but I feel like that would be helpful to you as well. But I wanted to also mention, I don't know if anybody else is getting any other symptoms, but my memory in the past month and a half, maybe even 2 months, has been awful. Like, I can't remember people's names. And somebody will bring up a movie and I'm like, I know I heard of it. Or if they ask me like what movie I watched, let's say a week ago, it'd take me a few minutes to even recall that. And I know that's because I'm in the ethers, and that's because, my brain is even in resting, it's in theta mode or delta mode. I know that. But I also know that other people are experiencing memory issues as well. So I wanted to bring that up.
Thank you.
Yeah, like right now, with the planets, there's just a lot going on in the solar system, a lot of solar flares happening and that will affect the body. That'll affect the meridians inside the body. It might be a good time to balance those meridians too, if anyone knows somebody that does that. It's very delicate, and we are very delicate, energetic creatures. So sometimes when those get blocked, it can, have subtle effects that eventually become more noticeable,
Mm-hmm.
So meridian checking is something to do within the body. And if you live somewhere in the world that is not in the meridian ley lines, those people are, sometimes more affected by things than the people that live in the ley line areas, of the world. So if you live outside of those areas, you might be feeling more of what's happening in the solar system and the world energetically. They don't have as much protection in those far out regions from the points, the safety points. So, so solar system is going crazy right now. So just also be aware of that, because what happens above also happens below, and it will affect the moon, and everything affects us. So it's just give yourself love, balance yourself out as best as you can right now. Be good to yourself. Don't put yourself in situations that aren't for your best and highest self if you can avoid them.
Yes.
That's all.
Thank you. Okay, it's Christy. Thank you, Jennifer.
My heart's about to pound out of my chest. The energy is flowing big time to bring through this organic goddess technology that has come through. I just did work with another person too, so it does something, and it's about repair. We're talking about healing, but our body is repairing itself as we're upgrading. All those symptoms I've had, and then some. It's a part of acclimation as well. With the energy. So the biggest thing is not to be in fear about it, and just allow it and say, I feel you, I feel my body, just flow through me, please, So anyway, if you don't mind, I'll bring in that technology, and then after that, I will bring in light language.
Okay, sounds great. And I'm just gonna mention that Brittany also has physical issues that she's dealing with. So I'm speaking that I'm including her in this as well.
Fantastic. This is for everybody that's here today, for even to integrate this technology, because what I've discovered is the light codes are technologies, and what we do is we've anchored, these have been anchored, but now they're accessible, so everybody can access this technology. Okay.
Thank you.
So can you share your screen?
Yes. Do you want to share your screen?
I can't until you give me the
right. So that's what I'm saying. So
yeah.
Okay, let me make you let me make you host. Hold on. I'll make you co-host. I think you can do it that way.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Whoa.
Okay, so yeah, everybody just feel into the energy of these. Hopefully everybody can see them. These this code, and just this is on my website too, and there's a few things that came through with it. I was like sleeping, and all of a sudden these pyramids pop up, and it's like, what is that? And there were 3 of them, and then I didn't quite know until I started bringing a light code forward. So these are actually the organic goddess technology, and the beings that brought this forward is Hathor, Isis, and Sekhmet. So, so basically it was a calling of the goddesses, and it was necessary for repair work, because we're in this stage, and, you know, we're in a deep repair phase of our existence where it's critical within and without to feel this and acknowledge it. While we do this, we acknowledge our journey and how far we've come in order to return to true self, that goddess, God within. So, yeah, feel into the color frequencies too, because they're a huge part of that. The white, the blue, the gold, you can call it magenta, burgundy, red, whatever color you want to call it, black and gold again. And so I asked, when I got this technology, I put my hand on my heart and I felt into it, and I could just feel the energy, like I'm really feeling right now. My heart is like pounding out of my chest right now, going up and down in the body. And I put my hand on my chest, and all the heat just went up and down, and I knew I was receiving and integrating it. And so a message came through after that, and through a message from Hathor, Isis, and Sekhmet. It's a very simple message, but it says, or here it is: you are here in this now moment to be true to your spirit and true to your world, as this is the message we have for you. It is simple yet profound, as you feel into every direction, frequency, and vibration. This is your mastery, your light, to shine upon all that is, as within, as without, as above, so below. And as everything is now in motion with a magnetic flow, there's no distortions. You are free, you are loved, and you are one with all that is. Choose to embrace this knowing and allow the fun to begin. So that last thing, allow the fun to begin. Boy, that was a big one for me. So that's what it's time for, is that fun. So anyway, that's the light code, and I can go ahead and bring through light language for all to integrate.
That would be beautiful. Thank you. I just wanted to say that for me, it's the kind of the opposite. Like I play leads the way in the work that I do in raising vibration, right? And connecting that to the all that is. Like a lot of what just came out of your mouth has been coming through. So it's always great to hear confirmation that the messages are broad, right? Like that they're coming everywhere. So thank you.
Uh-huh. ata. Unnamaha. Tuname e jota enama ayata ushta a tishta pa utu ana ishta. Jana mayata aya iata une ijota hena na 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 ushta aya na hai. Tunama hai. Ota hai jota ayata pakun. Ne eta he. Ne eta heta hu. Janama ayata. Tushta ati unmehe. Tunahai. Tunahai. Tunahai jonama hata 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 hata. Tushtata.
There aren't enough words of gratitude for that gift that you just shared right now. And for me personally, as you participating on a call that you led 11/11 last year was when my light language came on in full. And so it's always when I'm in your presence and when you're speaking light language that I get called forth. So that is really beautiful. It's such an extreme blessing that you're here today.
Blessing to be here with all of you.
And
Important day. I feel like it is a very important day.
It is. And I felt the goddesses too, like super felt them, that there was so much nurturing and like ancient wisdom. And when the last time that we were together, when we were together in California, I had this experience again of like elder master teacher or something. And so you were like you were speaking to everyone and speaking directly to me, you know, and so there was definitely, and I was responding to some of it like, oh right, you know, like I remember, yes I remember, you know. So there was much remembrance that was happening for me. And the 3 pyramids is either it's the 3 pyramids and then the 3 moons that are the vision that comes up, and I forget where this is. It's either Pleiadian or Lemurian. And I have, so I don't know if you remember that I shared I shared a photo that was sent to me of someone that sent it to me right after the first time I spoke light language. This is before I met you. And and he said, does this resonate with you? And I was like, where is this? I was just here. And it has 3 pyramids and 3 moons. And then there's a Steve Nobel transmission that is that same picture. So I think I don't know that it's exclusively that way, but I think it is also connected to a place.
Mhm.
Mm. That was good. That was just, I'm just sitting in it. You guys remember to hydrate.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, add, I don't know. I work in the void. So I hopped into the void and took your light language with me there. And I felt powerful pulling on the masculine side energy, pulling really hard. What do you think that was?
Oh my gosh, you're so right on, sister. As I was about to say, what came forward as I was going to come into this and express this was balancing, bringing our divine masculine into our being, because that I've been out of balance with that in terms of actioning and in being bold. I mean, that's what I'm supposed to be. Be bold. It's like, that's not quite me. So that is the divine masculine, and that is the actioning, and that is the balance. So the goddess is, the technology is helping us to balance those energies, get it back into that state, that up leveling, that harmonizing mode. So yeah, that is amazing. Yeah, that you got that, because that's so right on. Right on.
Interesting. There's so many people, so many of my clients have some kind of imbalance. Some, like, the masculine is too far forward as a female person. That way, and even as male people, and there's sort of, so there was this integration that I did maybe last month, 2-3 months ago, where the dividing line between the masculine and feminine went away, and they became more like grains of sand that intermixed completely. Like in the wedding, the wedding ceremony where they pour the sand in and now you can't separate them out anymore. It was the same.
Nice.
So I feel like for those on the ascension path, in the 5D and moving more into 5D or wherever they are, it's not even just a balancing, because that indicates separation. It's a balancing and complete intermixing.
Yeah.
So that you can't tell this is masculine energy, this is feminine energy anymore. It's all unity.
It's just union, basically, just pure union. Yeah. Yep.
Thank you.
I get that, like the phrase is like all that is, right? Like we are love unlimited. And that's all that is. Like when we're present to it and aware of it, it's all that is. It's beautiful. Is there anything else, Christy? Actually, thank you, Gina, for sharing. Was there anything else that you want to share about your experience, or is it like when you're channeling the light language, it's just your channel and you're not?
It's direct. It's a direct source energy that comes through me. It's not channeling per se. It's just a direct energy, and I'm ready for him to let my heart start. I mean, my heart is beating so hard still. And it's really interesting. It's coming through much stronger now. And, doing different work that we've been doing, Cynthia and myself, it's just amazing to experience and to start to really understand what this is about, because this is technology through this. And if you accept, you have that technology within you now. So you have that harmony flowing, and you can express that so others can pick up that technology, that harmony within themselves. So it's pretty fascinating. Yeah, it's like, wow, that's kind of interesting. And but it's all this process of really starting to understand and be bold in the terms of allowing yourself to feel into these energies, because I mean, I don't see per se. I mean, it's just about feeling and knowing and grabbing onto it and expressing it. So so it's fun. It's really fun.
I have another observation I'd like to share, ask, whatever. Beginning with the image, but then also definitely with the light language, there was the pounding in the heart, yes, but then also pounding in the sacral. Any
Interesting.
idea what that's related to? Or maybe that was specific to me and whatever I was processing.
It could have been specific to you, and others who may not even recognize it. I didn't necessarily feel that, but that's not to say that it wasn't happening. It's,
Okay.
how it works. It's just, it just goes in the heart. And from there, it goes wherever it needs to go.
Mm. Mhm. Okay.
So,
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Regina, were you complete? Yeah. Okay. I'm so glad that you just, I'm like, it's funny, I'm rubbing my solar plexus and my sacral right now. I'm just like rubbing my belly. That you said that, Christy, about like it's not channeling, and I think that's like we're kind of taught to, that's how we explain what's happening is, oh, I'm channeling, I'm a channel, but it's like, no, the energy is just, I am just full direct expression, right? And
it does vary. I mean, it varies with different people. Some people that bring light language are channeling, and whether it's their higher aspects or, some are, and there's a whole variety of it. The language, and I know this one is like one of the most ancient, and it changes, because also what I found out, which is really fun and cool, is that I can bring in whatever goddess or whoever I want to bring through, and I didn't even know that before until I was doing some work with somebody as we were doing some clearing, and she said, Christy, can you bring in Isis through your light language? And I'm like, okay. so it just happened, and it's like, wow. And then she said, Christy, can you bring in the whales? We need to get information from them. And so I did, and it's just like, it's this amazing, and it's like a source, right through source. So it's really cool and exciting to be able to do it. Yeah, to bring it forward. And that's why I'm here. I mean, that's one of my gifts that, yeah.
Yes. That's so good. And we've shared this before, because this call has been happening pretty much every week for a year. We started on Lionsgate last year. That a lot of our gifts, the way that they've expanded, is that very much like, can you bring in Isis? Okay, it's like, let's try. I don't know, let's try. And then that happens, and then there's like something that builds upon that, and I've come to see recently, like, the progression of things of that we are have access to, that why certain things happen the way that they happened or when they happened, because I'm like, okay, great, so then that happened on top of that, and then it happened on top of that, and it's just really beautiful, just really cool.
Oh, it's all about sharing the energy that's coming forward, to feeling into it, and how you can work with it, whatever that is, whatever your gifts are, whatever. It's just feeling into it.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask a question to Christy?
Sure.
When you put that image up, I instantly just started bawling uncontrollably, like tears, sobbing, and started doing the light language. I calmed down a little bit and, just went with it or whatever. Have you ever, why would that reaction be? Do you know?
Oh yeah. I oftentimes cry when I bring light language, and it's hard to try to control that and do the light language at the same time. But the emotions, I didn't feel that this time. I think I had prepared enough for it. But the goddess energies themselves, I mean, just all that they are and all that we are as them, one of the things they said was, you just need to, how did they say it? Your time and your, let me look at that. There's specific words that they had that was just so, it's like, you are here in this now moment to be true to your spirit and true to your world, as this is the message we have for you. And I know when that came through, I just like boo-hooed, because as simple as it is, that is who we are. And for what I'm thinking for you is that you just felt that. I mean, you might have just felt that. And it's like, wow, it was like a release of that, just beauty, really.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I was told that I have some connection with Hathor.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
that's
that could very well be. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And then part of me, like my intuition is telling me like maybe I need to connect more with my divine feminine. Like I miss that part of myself, maybe.
Yeah, it's about the harmony.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, sure.
Cynthia, Brittany, Shannon, anything for you?
It's so amazing how just a picture can spark energy. I've had so many people say, it's just a picture, and maybe, yes, maybe it is just a picture, but there's always an energy behind a picture. And I'll give you guys an example. I actually was asked to go to somebody's house because there was a guy who had, well, actually, the mother called me because her son, who was a man at the time, he was like 25 or something, had completely lost his mind. And they couldn't understand why, that he had gone from this scholar to the mentality of a 4-year-old. And they couldn't figure out what happened, like if he had a stroke or anything, nothing was physically there. And so I went to the house to see if there was any indication of what may have happened. And I stop on this picture, and it was a painting, and the picture gave me a headache, like instantly gave me a headache. And I asked the lady, I was like, where did this picture come from? And she said, oh, my son brought it back from his trip from Europe. It was painted, and he bought it, it was actually hand painted. So he bought the painting from, I don't know, from some sale or some museum or something. And she said, that was the most expensive picture we've ever purchased. And I said, you need to take it down. And she said, absolutely not. We spent tens of thousands on this painting. And I said, if you don't take it down, he will never recover. And I felt in that picture that there was an energy of someone who had lost their mind. And so I asked her, I said, what happened to the artist after he painted this painting? And she said, I don't know. He's in some insane asylum. And I was like, take the picture down. Get rid of it. Don't burn it.
Oh my gosh.
The energy then. But get rid of this picture. And she was very, very adamant that she didn't want to do that. But she did it. She goes, I'm going to just take it down and prove to you that it's not the picture. So she took it down and wrapped it up, put it into the garage, and he started to recover. And he actually was able to gain back all of his faculties. He was able to gain back himself. Well, unfortunately, she decided to hang the picture back up again.
Oh my gosh.
And the same thing happened again. And I'm like, seriously, this painting needs to go away completely, in a vault, bury it like Jumanji, whatever, but this painting should never be. And it's proof that pictures and paintings actually carry the energy of the people who take them or who create them.
Yeah, that's why so much art has been used for inversion. I mean, it's just like television, it's being used because, we absorb. That's just natural to us. I know these specific codes, what I was told was you cannot invert them. There's no inversions. Whereas all the previous art in sculpture, there's a ton of sculpture and stuff that has been inverted that we actually did even some clearing on, that is meant to, bring our vibrations down or loosh off of humanity. And, it's really it's really bizarre, but they can easily do that because we're creators, and whatever we create and the intention behind it. I mean, if this guy was going crazy, he would actually had some demons playing on him to put that all together, unfortunately. Yeah.
Christy, what do you mean by inversion?
Inversion means the opposite. You know, we have, you know, good and evil. There's always both, but then you can play off of one, you know, which, you know, we don't like to say good and evil, but I mean, it's kind of reality.
Can I jump in? Can I jump in?
Please, please.
So Gina, think about the Nazi swastika symbol. Originally, it was a Hindu symbol that represented peace, harmony, balance, that sort of thing. All they did was take the same symbol and turn it on its side. Or like Satanists wear the cross, they wear it upside down.
Just like the peace sign. This is this is the real peace sign, upward, not downward. See, they turned it downward to invert it, but this is the actual peace sign.
That's so wild. I saw a video about that yesterday. Like it just came through on my feed.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I mean, that's one of my roles here, and then probably others too, is to transform these inversions.
Okay, so can of worms. Oh my gosh, rabbit hole. So who inverted the peace sign, and was it an intentional subterfuge to the actual peace movement?
Yeah, I mean, it's all a part of you know, bringing the consciousness, keeping it low. Yeah, you know, it was big, in the 60s, I think, is when it really came about. You know, I think of the swastika, what Cynthia was mentioning, and I don't know if you remember the codes I gave you, which was the emerald healing, the dragon eye, emerald eye, and that dragon wheel, which looks like a swastika. And so that, you know, the dragons even have that symbol. So that's such an ancient symbol that was used for good. And seeing that symbol and the technology that we've seen, it actually undulates throughout the earth to do all this clearing through the dragons, that technology.
I also want to add too, I just found out that the pink triangle that's being used by some of the LGBT community, that was actually a Nazi symbol too, that they took back to try and reclaim and take the stigma off of it. But I don't know if that's a good idea to reclaim a negative symbol like that and reuse it. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I can tell you just from experience that all this has been cleared now. So everything that has been inverted is cleared now. So to now look at it that way and not think, oh God, you know, is that still inverted? Just always look at it as clear and whole. It's like it's a wholesome state now.
Okay.
So it was interesting, something that was just coming up for me when you just said that. Well, two things. I lost the first one now. Is relating. Bye, Shannon.
Hi, Shannon.
Thanks. Is there anything you want to say before you go?
No, I just want to say it was nice talking to you guys, and I'll see you next week.
Okay, great.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Is that the same way of like relating to, how do I say this? Like relating to karmic patterns, relating to even like physical well-being, right? Like relating to it in a positive way. Versus like, oh, this, like the rules of karma are changing or have changed. and also the rules of like physicality, right? As you're saying, like we're kind of acclimating and settling and sort of settling in with this new level. And so so it just offered me something I just heard in what you just said of like, not relating to what's going on in my body, like, oh no.
Right, right.
Like more like,
Exactly,
yeah. So
exactly right.
that's what I heard for myself in that. That was awesome. We've
Yeah,
got
I'm glad you brought that up too, because I hadn't been thinking about like, oh, it's just because my body is reacting to the new changes that are going on in the ascension of what's around me and myself, you know? So that's a good way to look at things like, oh, if you get a pain or whatever, maybe it isn't a negative thing. Maybe it's just more of like, oh, my body's changing, you know, I'm evolving, you know,
Exactly.
I like that too.
That's exactly right. Yep.
well, and also what I'm playing with in that is that, so I'm 53, I'll be 54 in a month. And just a number, right? But like there, as a human, my human is experiencing 54-year-old stuff, right? And so, but I also get that, you know, we are expressions of source, and we do create we create our world, we create our reality, right? So I'm playing with it, like maybe I get to create this completely, um I don't have to buy into what society says, or like what even the doctors say about what it means to be this age in a woman. You know, like, so
Right. That's right. We're creating our new reality. So our bodies are, you know, they are what we want them to be now.
mhm.
Yeah.
Not to say that's going to change overnight, but you know, it could. You never know. You know, I'm not going to say it won't. Love for that. I welcome that. I'll send that out to the universe right now.
If
Right.
I wake up
Let's do
tomorrow
that.
morning with a breast reduction, I will be so happy. Just saying.
What is my partner Eric calls it something, it's like body, like where our bodies go to, like we're 20 or something, you know, like it's, I forget, there's a phrase for it. He's like, I'm ready for that. You hear that?
Yeah.
I'm ready for that. Like,
Well, I've been doing restorative yoga, and I do feel like it's reversing the aging process.
Yeah.
I love it. My body loves it. I'm so like, wow, I feel so great all the time. My body can move really well again. I'm 51. So, you know, I'm really happy that I started that restorative yoga. I just want to throw it out there for all you ladies and men, if there's any on the call.
Yeah.
or any that are,
Our bodies are
watching.
talking to us. It's way time for us to listen to them now.
Yes.
I was just listening to a stand-up comedian this morning on Netflix, and she was talking about how, like, you know, when you go 40, we turn 40, your body starts to fall apart, yada yada. And I was actually like yelling at the screen, no, I don't accept that. That's old
right.
programming. Don't be 3D on me.
I do not consent.
I do not consent.
Yeah, I
Beautiful.
that we have the power to kind of control that within our bodies. And if you really believe you look great and you feel great and your body's healthy and strong and your organs are working good, I think they will, you know.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So I do the oath of manifestation pretty much daily with my best girlfriend Barbara, and we've added to it, and part of what we add to it before we actually start the oath, we've created a whole other oath. And it is about our physical well-being, and we just really, you know, we really like law of attraction, right? We do this like rampage of appreciation, and
Yeah.
and you know, I think that's, or you know, I feel that that is true, like that we can transform. I like, you know, we all work with energy, and we all work multidimensionally. So like, why wouldn't we be able to have divine well-being and optimum health and well-being multidimensionally? Like, why Of course. Thank you for the reminder. Of course we can. All right, well, I
Yeah.
want to acknowledge it is 12:01, so unless anybody has anything else to say to complete, I will complete the call. Thank you, Christy, for joining us. You're always welcome
Thank you
here.
all.
It's always
all.
such a pleasure being in your
Pleasure
energy.
to be here.
Thank you for joining us, Brittany, by phone. Sorry about last week, and I hope that you benefited from today's call as well. And without further ado, I love you. Blessed be.
Thank you all. Love you all.
Your love.
Have a wonderful week, y'all.
Yeah.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.